Shalom, and welcome to Israel Today. This is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel. All this week I've been teaching you on the different Passover elements and how Jesus is seen all through them. In fact, the rabbis actually planned it that way intentionally, long before Jesus was born, on earth that is. If they had done this after he had come, then they would have changed up the Passover meal to look like something or maybe even someone else. This is why Jewish people today do not read Isaiah 53, because of the simple fact that it sounds like and looks like Jesus. Tomorrow at sunset, Passover will begin for Jewish people all around the world. It is still not too late if you want to get a copy of my Passover Seder book, which means the order of the Passover meal. This book contains both the traditional form and the One New Man, which I personally learned from Sid Roth. It is a wonderful how-to book that gives you all the recipes, table settings, and my personal notes that I have collected over the years. For a donation of $10 or more, I will email you a copy of this book. Continuing on with today's discussion on the Passover, I would like to talk to you about something that, to the best of my knowledge, I have not heard anyone teach on this particular subject. I want to talk to you about something from Scripture that while we know the process, we do not know the action associated with it. Before I get into the teaching, I need to preface it with something. On any Passover table, there is always bitter herbs, such as horseradish or even just horseradish root. According to Exodus 12, we are told that the first Passover God ordained was only to eat a lamb roasted with fire along with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. Once man got involved, other things were added to the table. And the main reason for this is that all the items on the table should be able to tell the story of Passover visually as well as experientially. I need to briefly explain the purpose behind two of the items. The first is the bitter herbs or horseradish. It is used to remind the participant of the bitterness that the Israelites suffered as slaves in Egypt. The second item is called charoset, and it's a sweet mixture of apples, nuts, and honey that represents the mortar used for making the bricks. Now with that in mind, let us continue on with this teaching. According to John 13:21-30, Jesus dipped his matzah or unleavened bread and then handed it to Judas, his betrayer. Which item did he dip it into and why? Was it dipped into the bitter herbs or horseradish because Judas carries so much bitterness and Jesus knew what he was about to do? Or did he dip it into the charoset as a last reminder to him that Jesus was full of love, sweetness, and compassion? Scripture never reveals to us what he dipped the matzah into. So on that note, I leave you with this. Do you have any bitterness in your heart? Or are you sweet, caring, and loving to all those around you? If you were in Judas's place, what would you choose to dip your bread into? Remember, Passover is only one more day away, and you want your house cleansed and ready should he return tonight or even tomorrow night. If you want to get in touch with us, visit branchofisrael.com. Again, this is Rabbi Roger coming to you from Israel. Thank you so much for listening. The Hitros, goodbye, or see you again.